Hey guys, JanaCuddles here. Today I'm going to be talking about something a little bit different. It's something that if you are active on Twitter, you may have seen. If you're a member of Trans Twitter specifically, you definitely probably saw it. And that is a Twitter space that took place on February 2nd, hosted by Mario Nawfal. It is part of his Debates Roundtable series. And he does this for a lot of topics, most days, as far as I can tell. But this one specifically is titled Gender Pronouns, Gender versus Sex Debate. So, right off the bat, it's just up for debate. Gender versus sex is up for debate. And I know that, the question of how does gender and sex differentiate is a valid question, and in some cases is valid to debate. However, this specific debate is specifically framed around basically the validity of transgender identity and just the validity of our experience being something that is real and worthy of respect. So there's a bunch of speakers on this, both good and bad. There are, thankfully, some actually transgender people on this roundtable debate. But on the opposing side are TERFs, which are, if you don't know, a TERF is a trans exclusionary radical feminist. The feminist part is honestly up to debate. There should be a roundtable for that. I personally don't think that TERFs are true feminists, specifically because of the trans exclusionary part of that. And nowadays, they like to claim that TERF is a slur. If you're a TERF, you can 100% fuck off. I do not care if you think that that is a slur. I know that some people refer to you as gender critical. Y'all suck. I would call you much, much worse if YouTube allowed me to, but I don't think it does. So I will call you TERFs. And unfortunately, not all of the trans people involved in the debate are really on the side of trans people. One of the people included is Buck Angel, which, if you aren't familiar with why he is problematic, first of all, feel free to do your own research, but he has historically sided with TERFs on multiple occasions. He is a trans medicalist, which means that he does believe that in order to actually be transgender, you have to be on the right cocktail of hormones, you have to actively be seeking out surgery, and that's just factually incorrect because not everyone has the same experience with being transgender. But thankfully, there were other trans speakers involved who are sane. Specifically, there was Keffels, who was there for the entirety, as far as I'm aware. Then there was also Aaron Reed and Alejandra Carabello. And thankfully, those three were there to stick up for the rights of trans people. I think it's a really shitty position for them to have been placed in, but that is the reality of trans politics today. We are left literally defending our ability to publicly exist at all right now. And yeah, that's really distressing and dehumanizing. And personally, I really hate that that's where we're at as a society. But that's just the reality of 2023. So the recording is up on Mario Nawfal's Twitter right now. It is just a couple minutes shy of 5 hours long. It says 163,000 people tuned in. The post that it's under has over 4,000 replies on it, 500 retweets, and 976 likes as of this recording. Mario Nawfal is the one who ran this, and he has 360,000 followers. So I say all of this, and I bring all of this up, not because I'm specifically reacting to the fact that this happened or anything. I feel like I have a unique experience to bring to the table as far as this discussion. On another platform, I have interacted on multiple occasions with Mario Nawfal. And actually, funny enough, at one point, he even threw $100 at me for no reason, and I put it towards my bottom surgery. So Mario Nawfal has inadvertently funded my transition. So when I initially saw this, I was really taken aback because at no point in my previous interactions with Mario did I think that he would be of the mindset to be placing gender identity in the crosshairs of a debate. Now, to be fair, every time that I interacted with him before, he was not aware that I was transgender. Publicly on that platform, I was considered to just be a cis lesbian who was in a relationship with a trans partner. I was open about being with a trans partner. I just was trying to be stealth as a cis person rather than as an out transgender woman. So after I saw that Mario had hosted this highly controversial debate, in quotes, and because I had interacted with him before, I logged back into this other platform, which, mind you, I hadn't used for a couple months at this point. I logged back in with the specific intention of calling out Mario in the hopes of maybe sparking a conversation with him, just to let him know that framing this as a debate wasn't okay and that it actively harms people like myself who he has interacted with in the past. So, in order to do this, I first made a coming out post on this platform where I let everyone know, hey, I have a confession. I'm actually transgender. I didn't tell anyone because I didn't want to deal with transphobia, because this is a largely unmoderated community. That post didn't really get much traction on the platform, and to be fair, that platform has been dying a very slow death for the past several months. So I wasn't really surprised by that. And before I made this post, I did go to Mario's profile and make sure that he was still active. And at the time, he had posted in the past 24 hours. So I knew that he was still active on the platform and would see my post once I made it. So then I made a call out post for Mario Nawfal and added him in it. And I'm just going to read the post. So, a big reason I decided to come out on this platform is because I saw Mario Nawfal had done this debate on Twitter Spaces. I was surprised because Mario is a cool guy I've interacted with a couple times on here. To be clear, this is not the kind of post where I'm trying to demonize him or anything. I will likely be adding to this as a thread as I actually listen to the almost 5-hour recording. So, understand I am coming at it in this specific post from a view of not having listened, but only seeing the topic and its speakers. To get my takes on the actual content, please stay tuned to this as a thread as I listen to the whole thing. which at the time I was planning on doing, and I'll get back to that. Now, why am I a bit put off by this when it's just a debate? Mario hosts debates about everything and tries to stay neutral. Well, framing a marginalized community and their ability to exist and be respected as a debate does not seem fair. Would you have a debate about whether black people should be able to vote? Would you have a debate about whether cis gay men should be allowed to be in the presence of children? I'm sure that some would say yes. But what you have to understand is that framing that as a debate is inherently taking a side. You are saying that the topic is up for discussion. It's up for debate. That the rights of a marginalized community is something to be analyzed rather than freely given. While I am glad to see a couple of actual transgender people on this list of speakers, inviting someone onto your platform with the sole purpose of defending their right to exist in public is rather dehumanizing. I also see people on here who are outright against the very existence of trans people, who would rather see us detransition than be our true selves, who would rather subject us to vile and degrading things than to recognize us as the people that we are. The idea that being openly queer in front of children as being somehow morally wrong is a wild idea that you are perpetuating by platforming someone like Gays Against Groomers and the like. Framing this as a debate is wildly dehumanizing to trans people because our proponents have nothing to lose and everything to gain, while our very identity is on the line. Our basic rights are on the line. So, I congratulate you on at least not making this an echo chamber. I know that this is something that you are against, but I do hope that you are open to hearing why this is not an issue to be debating. Again, this is not really a call-out post, but rather, I hope to bring some constructive commentary to this and why it may have been inappropriate. So, I did make a thread underneath this post with my takes on it as I was listening to it. I didn't get very far. I actually only made it 42 minutes in before I completely gave up because the TERFs who were on that call are just, they do not give a single shit about trans people. They don't care about our humanity. They don't see us as people. They have decided that we are the enemy and therefore are not worthy of speaking to as a human being. I stopped listening at 42 minutes because Kara Dansky was intentionally misgendering Keffels. And when called out on that, she said, "I won't lie," and said that she would only refer to people based off of their sex-based pronouns, which is fucking ridiculous. So I was not interested in listening to anything after that. So after reading through that entire post, it was up for a few hours, and it was actually, I went to sleep and I didn't think that Mario was going to respond. I woke up the next day and Mario had liked the post and he responded with, "Great post. Thank you so much for sharing. The feedback was also very helpful. Prayer hand emoji, heart emoji." And for a moment, I thought that maybe he was going to do some introspection about it. Maybe he was going to, I don't know, maybe make some moral progress and understand why platforming this as a debate is wildly harmful to both myself and my entire community. However, as of this recording, he has not said anything at all about it on Twitter, and he retweeted the recorded space, which just tells me that he wants people to keep listening to it, even though I said how awful it was to listen to it, and he presumably read it. So, because he liked it and responded, but apparently that's not enough. Apparently my anecdotal experience isn't enough for him to reconsider. So, that's really frustrating. I tried. So, if you're interested or anything, I would be willing to maybe listen to parts of it, parts of the recording, and respond to it in a video, because I have a lot of thoughts about it. But it also was pretty rough listening to it, and I did rage quit at 42 minutes. I did go back and listen to some of it after Aaron Reed joined. So in total, I've probably listened to about an hour of this 5 hour long call. Personally, at least listening to it by myself is a waste of time. Maybe it would be worth it for a video. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. I guess the takeaway from this video is Mario Nawfal is at least aware, or I have made him aware that this was a problem, and he has acknowledged that it's a problem and has not made any changes. So, I'm disappointed in you, Mario. Yeah, I'm disappointed in you. I hope that one day you learn why this was so harmful and why people are reacting like this. I hope you figure it out in time to be on the right side of history, because right now, platforming this kind of content is, history is not going to look back on you kindly for that, I don't think. And if you want to be remembered as someone who cares about human rights, I think you need to make some changes. So anyway, that's all I have to say. Thank you for listening. This has been JanaCuddles. Like, subscribe, and leave a comment if you'd like. Anyway, thanks. Bye.